Welcome, everybody. Veil of Sound here. We have a little special on our hands. We are good friends with some French guys. Where Mermaids Drown. Really, really cool to have Jean-Sébastien here on our little show, on our little special, to talk about the album that you just probably read the review on, everybody. Because they have a new record out, Reminiscence, or however you want to pronounce it. Jean-Sébastien, thanks for being on the show.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me, and it's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Thank you. First question, what kind of band merch are you wearing today?
Oh, that's a funny question. I put my, it's a long sleeve one by Postman's. Mix and master our album, and yeah, I didn't think about it when I put it this morning, but yeah, I think it's a good things to wear today.
Definitely. So for everybody,
and this amazing cap of tree. It's Ojo tree.
Yeah. So for everybody who's asking, I'm wearing just a simple show. No, it doesn't. There it shows. Simple Fries shirt. Still one of my bands that I love dearly. Jean-Sébastien, after having listened to the new record a few times and also having read up on it a little bit, let's ask one thing, because I like the way that the record is constructed. But let's ask you on a very personal level. Can you personally think back positively on all your past relationships?
I think, yeah. It was the idea when we talked about the theme of the album. Our main inspiration was the movie Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. And spoiler alert, you can cut if you don't want to hear the end of the story, but at the end they just realized that even if the company erased their memory, they still want to live their love story, even if they know that it's gonna hurt at the end. And that was the kind of the leitmotiv of the album, to think that every relationship, and not especially the loves one, you can think about a friend, maybe, even if you don't speak anymore, maybe it helps you on certain way to grow up. So it was the idea. So yeah, in my opinion, I'm sad of certain of my last love stories, of the ends of it, but at the end, it helps me in a way to be happy today in my relationship. So I think it's a good thing. Yeah, I don't have regrets.
That's exactly what I wanted to come to. I think it's very often difficult to get out of relationships without regrets at the very moment, right? But just like you said, something about the memories is very important, because that is something that you cannot take away from you.
Yeah.
Is that also somehow for you connected to nostalgia? Something like, oh, the good old times?
Yeah. We always said that in the band we like melancholy, and I think nostalgia can be related to that, because it's sometimes you think about something in the past and you're not very happy, but you're a bit sad. It's kind of an in between, and yeah, it's the way to think about the past and being nostalgic, but not not to say, oh, it was better, not that kind of nostalgia, like oh yeah, it was better in the old time and everything. It's just, yeah, nostalgia of good moments, maybe difficult moments, but once again, it's the idea of everything you lived at the end, even if sometimes you're in the middle of something very bad and you can see the positive of it. But I experienced that many years after you have take step back of that story, and you finally learn things of you, of the other people, of the way you can react and everything. So yeah, I think it's the idea of the global idea of the album is that, yeah.
The way I read it is that you did not take the story of Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind 100% and put it into songs, but
No.
it's like a guiding light, right?
Yeah, it was more like I don't know if a mantra, like a big idea of the album that I think, yeah, this movie is very important for me, and we want something romantic, not too cheesy,
Yeah.
but we want, and for me that movie is exactly that, and we start from that and kind of imagine all the steps of a relationship, the beginning of it, with all the sign you can misunderstood from the other, and after that, kind of the excitement of the beginning of the relationship, uh, and kind of the middle of it. It's kind of, you say, okay, it's cool, but you start seeing maybe a few things that annoys you from the other person.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's kind of the fall at the end, and it's kind of painful, difficult. And after that, you learn your lesson of it and kind of see the positive, take what you want to take and forget what you want to forget of this relationship, and move on at the end. So it was the idea of explain all of that with that mantra, that big idea of the movie. But the soundtrack of the movie is already kind of wonderful. So it was not our idea to, rewrite kind of a soundtrack of the movie. It's just our red line. I don't know if it's something
The
we can
red
say.
thread. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting way that you showed personal growth on the album. I really, really liked that. But to be clear, this has nothing to do with anyone, with any of the personal lives of the people in Where Mermaids Drown, right? So this is just a way of personal growth, but it has not to do with, oh, 3 of us have left our girlfriend and 2 of us have left the houses or whatever.
No, it's not personal. I think I put a lot of myself in that album because I'm doing, not in the music, because in the music we work together in processing of composing and everything, but outside that part, I'm in charge in many levels of the band, on the graphism, on some ideas. So yeah, I think there is a lot of myself, but I think everyone in the band can relate on a personal level on this album. But it's not a story of mine or a story of any other guys. We all in couples, happy for now, I suppose. And but yeah, it's life, I guess. It's for everyone can relate a bad story of or a good love story. So
would you say that you yourself grew while writing this record?
Me personally,
Yes.
I
As a
think,
musician, I mean.
yeah, as a musician, yeah, and personally too, because it it was very difficult process, this album, because I put, I think, way more energy than I thought at the beginning, because we wanted to do something. We wanted to, level up a bit. We are proud of the first EP, but it was the first EP. We did it kind of quickly, and we wanted to do something better. I don't know if I can say better, but something that matter for us and for the people that follow us for 2 years now. So yeah, I think I learned a lot about myself, and I think we all grew up together, like the song, because it's what it talked about. This song, we grew up together. I think we all grew up together as a band. We know each other better now, more than before, because we had this tour last year that helped us a lot to know each other better. So yeah, so I think, yeah, that the idea is, yeah, we all understand better what we wanted, and we want to do something that matter at the end, I suppose, something like that. Yeah.
Would you say that the band now is tighter and more closely together than it was 2 years ago when you released the first EP?
Oh, clearly, yeah, of course, yeah. I think it's not especially that new album that make us closer to each other. I think the tour last
Yeah.
year, uh, being honest, last year just before the tour, we I'm the youngest one and I'm 37 this year, so we're not a young band as people. Yeah, you can smile, but
Yeah.
the other guys are older than me, between 41 to 45. So I think we all kind of mature in a certain way. So, but just before the tour, we were a bit worried about being together in a van for 11 days, being tired, and finally, just after two gigs, we had a conversation because we some tensions appears. We just sit around the table, take okay, what's wrong? We just fix small. It was just small things, but
Yeah.
we fixed that before it become too big and ruin the tour. And at the end, we just having, I think, one of the best moments of my life, being 11 days with that guys was just, you can't complain. You're just playing every night. People are happy to see you playing a show, and that means the world. So yeah, I think it's gonna be fun to do that tour in May. We can't wait.
How long is the tour with Wonder gonna be?
It's 2 days more than the last, so it's 13 gigs in a row, so no day off.
Who
It's gonna
needs a
be
day
fun.
off when you're that young?
Yeah, yeah. Don't care of a day off.
Yeah, I mean, like, how much can you do in one day, right? What is interesting, you've spoken about the inspiration you took from a movie. Could you also see your band writing and performing a soundtrack for maybe a new movie?
Yeah, of course. I think post-rock or instrumental music is mostly related. When I talk about my music to people that don't know what is post-rock, I usually make that shortcut about saying, okay, it's like a soundtrack of a movie, very instrumental and everything. So yeah, we'd love to if we have the possibility tomorrow. It would be a great experience to reach new people by another way finally. So yeah.
So for all those filmmakers out there, if you want to have a good instrumental soundtrack, call the French guys.
Totally.
Just don't expect them to go on tour for 3 weeks. It might not, but one question that also struck me, sometimes sometimes you are able to catch a live performance of a movie with live music. For example, I was fortunate enough to see Year of No Light do that at Roadburn a few years back. Is that also something that you would be up to? Because I know that a lot of people say, okay, this puts even more pressure on a band because you have to be on point, on spot all the time.
You mean being recorded at a show and make a video of it?
No, I mean, like, there is a screening of a movie and the only thing they have is dialogues and the band plays the music live.
Oh yeah. Oh, well, why not? We change a lot our way to play live since few months now because we last tour we experience the reality of playing live in small venues and stuff, and sometimes the wages are not very good and it's complicated to rear everyone in the room. So now we all have in-ear monitors for each one of the band with personal monitors too. So we play with a click. Now everything is programmed to provide a very special show. I encourage everyone to come to see us live because we worked a lot on that aspect. So I think it could be easier for us to play, I don't know, with a movie behind us and being very tight on it because we all very connected and everything is right before. So yeah, I think it's a lot of pressure, of course, because you can't miss anything. But I think we're kind of used to that now with that system because everything is right before. Yeah, there is no surprise during the show, nothing. It can happen. I hope, I cross fingers, it will not happen during the tour, but even if it happened, we can handle it. But yeah, with the tempo on the ears and everything, it's I think we play tighter than we used to because we hear everyone better than before, so that's pretty nice.
So the new record is out on Dunk. How proud of you are you of, you know, like having your first real full length out on Dunk Records?
Alors, we are not on Dunk Records.
Oh, you've just been pressed by Dunk, right?
Yeah. No. We didn't have any offers from any label, and to be honest, we didn't try to reach labels because I think it's really we're gonna talk about money. It's really complicated to work with a label because as it's small labels, they need to, I don't know what the deals for Dunk or for other kind of similar label, but imagine you have to split all the benefit of a record. That means if we sell the record 20 euros, it's only 10 euros in our pocket. So we were lucky enough to have enough money to do everything ourselves. And at the end, at least, we don't have to split any money to anyone. Everything come to the band. So it was the idea, but we're totally open to work with a label tomorrow if we got an offer that we can refuse and that provide maybe something that lead us to a next level. But for now, we prefer to work alone, and that's why we stopped working with post recording because they're in America, we are in Europe, so it was kind of impossible to do something decent between because of the shipping cost and everything they to complete it. So finally, we prefer to do everything ourselves for now, at least.
So, which label, if you could choose one label, which label would you like to be on and why? And now just don't say Dunk because everybody wants to be on Dunk Records, you know, like say something different.
Honestly, I think the biggest label today in our kind of music, it's not Dunk Records, unfortunately. It's more like Pelagic. Is kind of I think the biggest with the big impact right now in our kind of music. I have many friends on that label now. The guys from Bruit, Shiloh, Brialazzi, Spurv. So yeah.
By the way, everybody, you should check back in a few weeks. There might be something on a little band called Shiloh. Okay.
So I think Pelagic is the first that come in my mind that could really help us to move on as a band and being more professional. But I think for now the main interest is to find maybe more like a real another. I'm not gonna say a real booking agent because I'm the booking agent of the band. But maybe we really try to find a kind of a producer or a big company that could help us to produce something bigger, like Bruit did with their whole agency management thing. So I think the idea is more that focus on that and see what happens next. But yeah, that's the first name that come in my mind, Pelagic. So Pelagic, if you're watching this, you can contact me. Thank you.
I'll make sure that Paul gets a link to this one. So Jean-Sébastien, Thanks for all those details. And you know, nobody gets out of any Veil of Sound interview without the infamous quickfire round. So you'll get 6 questions. Like, what do you like more, roses or tulips? Paris or Marseille? Or AC versus DC? You know, whatever.
Okay.
And you have to choose one of them and explain why. We'll start off with something simple. Une croissant or une baguette? Stereotypes.
Yeah, a croissant for me because I'm more like a sugar guy, so sugar everywhere.
Sweet guy. Psychedelic rock or hard rock?
Oh, damn it.
Like, let's say something like Arabrot or ACDC.
I think I'm gonna say psychedelic rock. I'm really not into the old. I'm struggle a lot with all the ACDC. Even in the post rock, the older one like Mogwai is not the music I listen the most. So I would say something more new than old, I suppose.
So when you talk about Mogwai, then what about a band like Godspeed You Black Emperor that everybody can agree on? Usually, not for you.
Yeah, I'm not for me. Yeah, I think I don't know. Maybe I listen more American post rock like Caspian. This Will Destroy You. I think that most that kind of music I like. And yeah, I never jumped into the train of that kind of band. Finally, Mogwai, Godspeed, or even God is an Astronaut is not the band I listen the most. Honestly, it's not the post rock I listen.
What would you rather do? Go on a small headliner tour with Where Mermaids Drown for like a week or 2, or do a supporting gig for a bigger act, let's say God is an Astronaut, where you go out on tour for a month?
So just going a small tour with a bigger band?
No, you being the headliner for a short tour, or you being the support for a big band for a longer tour?
Clearly the second one, because it's a longer tour and it's with a big band. So it seems better to me. But I'd love to have an offer to, I don't know, support a band that we love, and maybe it's gonna happen someday. But yeah, I think it's a good thing to reach more people at the end. So yeah.
Now we come to musical decisions. What do you like more, Envy or Boris?
Oh, Envy. 300% Envy.
And as you were talking about American post-rock, If These Trees Could Talk or Explosions in the Sky?
I would say Explosion in the Sky because it's more melodic way and they're still in activity, at least. I've always been a bit weird about If These Trees Could Talk is that kind of band that is well known in the world, but they do nothing for years now. They never tour. It's really weird for that band because they're pretty famous, but finally they just stay in their area and don't give a lot of news. So I would say Explosion in the Sky because I grew up a lot with them. So
did you also, as we're talking about movies, did you then also watch that Friday Night Lights thing where Explosions in the Sky had some songs on the soundtrack?
No, I never see the. It's a show. It's a TV show, right?
I think that was the movie first, and then came the TV show, but I'm not sure which one was first.
Okay.
And last question. I know you love vinyl just much as we do here at Veil of Sound.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to give you the shitty version of picture discs, because we all know that picture discs are only for looking at and the sound is horrible. But what would you rather choose for your next LP, which will bring you to Wembley being the headliner of a huge tour, hopefully? But which kind of vinyl would you choose? Black vinyl or colored vinyl?
Colored vinyl, always.
Always.
Always. I love all the, I don't know, the possibilities we've got today. And I know that some of the hardcore vinyl collector and listeners prefer black ones because it sounds better, but I never see the difference between a black one and a color one. Sometimes black one sounds shitty because the pressing is shitty,
Yeah.
and same for colors, of course. But I don't think the fact that the vinyl is colored that sounds shitty. But yeah, I think of course as a band, it's so opportunity for to reach more people with colors, because some people we choose one variant, the other will choose another one.
Yeah.
So yeah, and for example, talking about Dunk Records and Dunk Pressing, they make something very exceptional. It's
Yeah.
you can do. It was so complicated for us to choose the colors of the three variants of the new records, because when you have so many possibilities,
Yeah.
it's it make you crazy. But I'm sure the results will be amazing, because they do amazing job
They do.
on colors.
They do.
Yeah.
And for everybody out there who wants to have a look at really, really impressive color variants for records, there is one label. There are two labels out there who I think are even better than Dunk, and that is Majestic Mountain Records from Scandinavia. Check that one out. And Silent Pendulum from New York. Whatever these guys put out, it's always. So, Jean-Sébastien, thanks for your time. All the
Thank
best
you.
for the tour with.
Thank you.
It's Wonder, right? You're on tour with Wonder.
Yeah, Wonder from they're from California, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. So they're on tour with Wonder. You've now heard the interview. You've probably read the review. Next step for everybody is check out the music, buy it, and go see them live. Jean-Sébastien, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for inviting me, and see you soon, I suppose.
I hope so.